So I have about 3 boxes of damaged vintage fabric that I have to throw away now. This batch particularly was, antique and vintage fabric that I was holding on to for the remodeling of my Ham's beer truck. Also got screwed with, and I have another video about that. But this is like high quality of like upholstery fabric, vintage upholstery fabric, to give my beer truck that early 80s. It's a 77 Ford Ham's beer truck, but to give it that like late 70s, early 80s vibe. I used to deal in vintage and antiques, and I had an antique store on Etsy. I mean, this is stuff you can't get anymore. It's high quality, the way they don't make it anymore. To even try to replace it today with today's fabric would cost a ton. This is stuff that I'd held on to for a long time. And then this in particular was meant to remodel my Ham's truck in a vintage style, fitting with the year it was made. There's yards and yards and yards and yards and yards of this was going to be my curtains. This was cut because actually, even though this was put with this set and I'd possibly was going to make pillows with it, it was cut down because I'd also made handbags with some of this fabric. So to actually turn this into a handbag, the handbag would be sold, for $60 to $100. And so each piece of this is worth a whole lot more in reality than what it is. That one is sad for me because it reminds me of the early 80s and the couch that we had in the early 80s. This actually came from Tanzania, and I had it bought for me from somebody going to Africa. So yeah, the value of this fabric is a lot more than actually it would be valued at. And it's stuff that's, very high quality. Can't be replaced these days. If it were, it wouldn't be vintage. It wouldn't be the same. And this stuff would be very expensive now. It's very high quality, textiles.